back and forth about that just on some comments on an earlier video, but he's too personally attached and he's got some things. I don't agree with most of what Thomas Sowell says, but he did some excellent work on the cultural practices and language that we took from rednecks, from down south white people during slavery, the antebellum slavery, and how they had got it from Scotland and kind of the highlands of Great Britain before they came to the United States, and they came here from there, right? And I thought the work was excellent. He cited some good sources. I know Grady McSwiney was one, like it's called his book called like Rednecks and Crackers or some Cracker Culture, I think was the name of it. Um, and that's written by a European, goes all into it, and it kind of shows the parallels. Soul showed the parallels on a video, on another video he has called um, "The Origins of Black Culture," which again I don't agree with Soul on most things, but when it comes to this particular topic, I think he went in and I could go through that video that Camjiverse did and like really I don't want to go through it and like pick it apart, but it's a lot of bones I have to pick with that video he did. And maybe when he's here to defend himself, we can go over that at one point. But that's all I got, man. I wanted to put those two things out there. If anybody got things to say, or if he ends up coming on, I would love to get into that discussion. But I'm gonna pass the mic right now.
Word up. Thanks for tapping in. You stick around. We're gonna be having a build. What's up with Black President?
Yo, Kaz, what's going on? I can't see you, bro.
Oh, well, let me see if I have to turn on this virtual camera real quick. Hold on.
It's all good.
What's up with it though?
Yo, this is 30 years in the making, bro. That's a good alley-oop because watch this. That dude he's talking about, Thomas Sowell, right?
Who?
He actually went to my high school in New York.
Wow.
The number one high school. That's how we're gonna start, because that we were listening to the Souls of Mischief and Casual and high school. The number one high school in New York, Stuyvesant High School. They don't talk to you about that, right?
Y'all was listening to that?
Oh, Cat, see, this is the thing you gotta ask yourself, bro. With Tajay in the whole, see, I know your whole history. That's the first thing, is that like Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark, they were teaching in New York, brother. That's one. And number two, if Tajay went to Stanford, you guys don't think there's an Ivy League school in New York, bro? Columbia University. So we have people on that intellectual level. You understand? So yeah, listen. You got to think, in 93, they didn't even have, listen, I have the first book that they wrote about hip hop by the artist. I got copies of that shit right now, right here. This the temple right here. In Brooklyn, in Brooklyn Public Library. They didn't even have books about hip hop then in the early 90s, bro. In 93, you can't find any books talking about a few, but nothing really scholarly and in-depth like that in 93, 94. So yeah, we were listening to the vocabulary and all of that. But the thing about it is, the other day when we were talking and I said that this is the headshot, this is what I meant. Same thing about the hieroglyphics. We were studying ancient Kemet at the same time. So over the years, those same principles that you cats espouse, we kept that alive in New York. Listen, that's the thing I was telling you. You think Son never don't know me? He know who I am. You know why he hating? Because I'm from Brooklyn. Because I'm from Brooklyn, bro. I'm from Biggie's neighborhood, too. These niggas know me, bro. I battled Foxy in front of my grandfather's house, B. And that's the thing. The thing I was saying about to you. Are you listening?
I'm listening.
Yeah, listen, Casual. Watch. So, I am the person who wrote "Is Hip Hop an African Religion?" and went to Kemet to present it. You think how Sonnet? All these people. I know you watch Sonetta. I call Professor James Small right now. You see, that's why I'm talking to you, because I know that's what we showed and proved. That's why I was telling you that. Watch how I get it. First thing we showed and proved is the fact that you say you are. You Hiero You teaching hieroglyphics. I'm the black president. I got a degree in political science on it. Then I wrote the thesis on hip hop. That's the first thing we did. Then the concept of balance in hip hop mind. Y'all, we was the first nigga, we was doing that. You was a smart dude, but you're not a punk. Same thing. The concept of hip hop mind. They don't want to show that on that level. You don't see now, it's a bunch of people who used to, everybody want to be smart now. They wasn't smart 15 years ago. Who did that? I did that. Oh, listen, my YouTube, I got one joint on YouTube. You know what it is? Me and Kemet by the Sphinx. All these niggas fucking who's the dude always battling to Zariak? Who talks about Kemet?
You talking about Jabari?
Yeah, come on, son. Come on, B. Jabari? You don't see he just lost? You think Jabari wouldn't know me, bro? Bro, see, that's the thing. That's the thing. This is what let's see. That's why I was even talking about your girl. Watch how you did this yesterday. Watch this. Watch me get you right here. I'm watching you, right? I didn't even know Sophia Chang signed you, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, damn, I didn't know that. But I recognized her because the other day she was on Good Morning America. And I'm like, yo, boom, that shit is ill. And then so I Googled, do a little research because I don't really pay attention. I know she managed to RZA, this, and that. Watch this, listen to this. And then I realized, oh, she married to a dude who's a Shaolin master, right?
Yeah, she married a Shaolin monk.
Oh, yeah, but guess what, Cass? This is him right here. That's him.
Move it over. We can barely see the picture. To the picture part. Okay, there you go. There you go. There you go.
There he is.
That's him?
That's him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's him.
Yeah.
That's him. I'm a martial artist too. I was like, yeah, see, that's how I have to get at them. To show you that there's been an anti-black discrimination as far as, see, I knew this from that school I'm talking about, Stuyvesant, because guess what? Stuyvesant was a predominantly Asian school while I was in there studying hieroglyphics. And that's why they always hated on me, because they didn't like the fact that, again, how do we hold it? We're the people who you're not going to convince that Jesus is black. So they want to make sure that the person who's going to express to people that hip hop is not only black, but an African culture, they want to get rid of him. That's the God. You see? And that's how I have to show you. I have to do shit like this. You don't want to put me on? You know what I got to do? I got to call C Gutter from the Junior Mafia, who I used to be in his neighborhood, to be like, yeah, nigga, what's up? That's what because they don't want a person who espouses hip hop on a level of knowledge, even though we are the ones who civilized the planet with the hip hop shit.
So
right?
hold on, I'm getting a lot of your jewels you dropping, but you know what, bro? I gotta keep it a buck. I don't know what the overall thesis to what you're talking about is. Like, it seems like you're filing a complaint or a contention against something, but I don't know what it is. So let me know what the overall, what the overall underlying, what are you talking about ultimately?
Okay, ultimately, this is what I'm talking about. Number one, I have metaphorically resurrected New York hip hop.
Okay.
That's what I've done by evolving it to the level which I'm explaining to you right now in person.
Mm-hmm.
What is the fundamental mythos of ancient Kemet? The resurrection of Osar, right?
So it changed over periods of time, but I'll just continue.
Fundamentally, it's the resurrection of Osar. So that's what you're seeing right now, the resurrection of New York hip hop in the person of E. Props, the Black President.
Well, that's
And
dope. I'm with that. I'm with it. I mean,
yeah,
that sounds cool. Okay, the resurrection of New York hip hop, and that's what you standing on.
period. And what I was doing is explaining to you that the process has to occur within opposition, right? You can't resurrect if they try to kill you. And that happened physically too, because I was physically attacked in a famous New York club called Bentley's, where on a Friday the 13th, like today, I was cut, and then on Sunday, I got out the hospital. This is real facts. And
You
the
got
thing
some
about
material, fam? You got some material, music,
the
or what? Art?
www.blackpresident.com,
What
BLACCPREZIDON.
about your YouTube or something? You said you only got one joint with you and Kemet, though, right?
I have everything.
No, you said on your YouTube.
Yeah. You go to blackpresident.com. Listen, I've been studying this since Hieroglyphics Imperium, brother. I know the independent game. The site is connected to every other site. And it's not a coincidence, just to show you that they just, even this fact, what did they just, yeah, we got to add this element to it. We're all watching YouTube right now, right? So you see the Zopound is fire. Yeah. You heard about them.
What's that? What's that? A group?
The Zopound, again, I'm Haitian American. Let's start with that. The Zopound is a crew here by the way, I'm in Florida right now. The New York dude who's in Palm Beach after Trump won the presidency. Yeah. Now, Zopound is a group. Right now, they're on the internet talking about them in Miami, Florida. They're well known. They're on the internet right now. But the level that I want to talk to you is about this. You ever ask yourself, Cat, like, why did Eminem, and you didn't let me finish. Why did Eminem name the antagonist in his movie Papa Doc? Do you know who Papa Doc is?
No.
Papa Doc was the president of Haiti, brother, in the 1960s. A black nationalist, black conscious brother that even Fred Hampton mentioned as being black nationalist, right?
All right.
So what I'm saying is that over time, I realized the reason why he was named that was an attack on me, because like I'm telling you,
attack on you personally.
Personally.
Hold on, now let me ask you something, and then we're gonna go to the next person. I feel you in the sense that sometimes artistically it seems as if things are direct attacks on us, right? And I felt that way in art. But let me ask you, how would he know you? Is there a way that do Eminem know you? How would they be directly attacking you through a movie if you ain't on their radar?
Oh yeah, again, that's the assumption. This is why we're talking right now. Look at that. See, this is the fundamental thing that we're fighting now. The fight is between people in the music industry who imitated New York hip hop and people who live in New York who grew up on hip hop. That's the difference. That's the difference between me and Eminem. Now, how would Eminem know me? Just like your boy Kanye West. Let me explain. Number one, like I said, my grandfather lived in Brooklyn, New York, where we got paid off of the Barclays Center Stadium. That's one. I didn't perform there. We got paid. That property is between Biggie Smalls and Foxy Brown, who I battled in front of my grandfather's house in 1993, the same year. The backpack, all that, that's me.
Hold on, though, family. Now, I feel you. You told us some of those facts before, but you got to just answer the question. Then we're going to move to the next person. We got a lot of people came in. You ain't really answered the question. How would Eminem know you to be targeting you in the movie with the name Papa Doc?
Papa Doc. I didn't say just me. I didn't say just Eminem. Number one, let's explain. You got to use your logic. I said that I lived in between Biggie and Foxy in the early 90s. I was an MC. I predate Eminem. Now, how would he know me? Maybe because, again, You think Bobito don't know me? That's the racism I'm telling you.
Hold on, not well, family. Now you going. You said you think Bobito don't know me. That's the racism I'm telling you.
Again, you again.
Did you just say that?
I did that. I said what I told you is
where did racism come into anything?
Because I told you metaphorically the fact that the people who been studying hip hop for 30 years, you gotta understand, all non-black people who's in the hip hop, they're into it because they look at it as black culture. But what they do is take advantage of us who don't have knowledge of self to push us up there. Now, why would they want somebody with black consciousness to be within hip hop when their advantage is to be more intelligent than the people
All right, let's work something out. We gonna. I would like you to come back and have this type of discourse. You got good content, right? Like people want to hear the type of stuff you're making, but I didn't see you make give me no reason to think Eminem would have been targeting you specifically. From what I asked you, you could have been talking about living between Biggie and Foxy. How the fuck would he know that?
Wait, that's not the
He from Detroit.
What kind of? But it don't matter. He came to New York. What you mean? He was a yo.
I'm saying so. Everybody, it's so many people in New York right here in the chat. So you saying you known in New York like that?
You goddamn right, I'm known. You crazy? Now let me ask you a question, Cass. How did you get on? What blueprint did you do? You came to New York, got with Bobito, got with Simulated Dummies, got with Search, that crew. You don't think I know? I know y'all.
Yeah, I'm with you, okay, but that ain't really how I got on. But you're right. Let me tell you, you're right. That's my history, but that's not how I got on.
I'm not. What I'm telling you is that there's clear that I call them the hip hop Ku Klux Klan.
Oh no.
Non-black people who clicked up together to keep out black conscious people. Like, how would you really think?
Man, would you be willing to do a presentation on that?
What presentation?
Or as that? I mean, you don't gotta put it on a PowerPoint. You could come back and talk about that on the whole show, the Hip Hop KKK, or whatever, and put your theory down. But I just want to keep it moving, and I'm not asking you to leave. I want to say we're gonna table this for a moment because we got other people waiting to speak, and you had the floor for a moment.
Holler at me. You holler at me. Yeah.
Hey, real quick, fam. Can you tell me that website again? Because I wasn't Black President. Can you spell that again?
BlackPresident.com.
So feel free to stay. You could, we just gonna go to the next speaker real quick.
Peace. And that's the paperwork right there. You know how niggas be pulling up like, I want to see your paperwork. That's the paperwork.
What's the paperwork?
Metaphorically, those are what I'm giving the credentials for you to analyze to see whether or not to corroborate.
I got you. But that was the fact that you battled Foxy back in the day, and that you lived in between West and them house. That's the paperwork.
Yo, you trying to be fun? No. The paperwork is that I could pull out this rap pages from 1994 with you in it. That's the paperwork.
But that's my paperwork.
No, it's not. It's not your paperwork.
No, if I'm in it, right? You proving my history. Show me your paperwork.
But that's what I'm saying. This is Biggie. Wu-Tang. I was there. That's what I'm telling you. See,
I'm gonna give you a fair assessment of what you offered us so far. You lightweight on one, family. Like you all over the place. You had the floor. And I'm not saying this is being said respectfully. Like, I got smoke flying in front of me too. I'm saying, so right now, it just seems like it's hard to follow what you're trying to give us. So I asked you, in humility, would you mind coming back and putting that together in a way that we could absorb that? You feel me? And you so I don't think you took it in the way I was trying to offer it. I'm saying, I could give you an hour to talk about this.
No, the thing about it, Kat, it's like you have to I get it. You're an intelligent dude, but it seemed like you're trying to play reverse psychology. Like the other day when I was telling you that the Jungle Brothers were in a tree, and then I put X Clan, and then you were trying to act like I was saying X Clan was in trees, dude. I'm the
I thought
authority.
that's what you were saying.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't have to do that with me. See, the
What,
thing about it
what,
is,
I'm not doing anything. I thought that's what you were saying.
okay, I get that. I get it. But you're continuing on that path, and I'm telling you that the assumption, this is what you're seeing right now. I apologize to you. But again, we are tired. I'm speaking for New York now. We're not gonna get the premise of proving points as far as hip hop should not lay on somebody in New York. It should lay on you.
Oh, that'll be fine, but I didn't make the claim that Eminem was doing something about me in the movie.
But think about this though. But look at the logic though. See, this belies your logic as far as being someone who studies Kemet. A black man who studies in ancient Kemet, who studies everything you study, who lives in the birthplace of New York hip hop, who says that he was interacting with two black iconic MCs, and you try to dismiss that in favor of Eminem. You know why? Because Eminem's
Nah,
status.
you tripping, bro.
Tell us what's up.
Somebody else could fill in
Nah,
here.
you tripping, bro. And I agree with some of the things you're saying as far as it being some gatekeepers that's keeping that black conscious shit out. I got a personal experience with Bobito, who I know, you know what I'm saying, with some music that I had that I gave to him, that I had that same experience. I know this shit was fire, you know what I'm saying? But everybody probably say that. But I can get with that part. Some of the other stuff, though, you kind of not a little bit
This y'all,
incoherent.
it's the West too. The entire Kendrick Lamar blueprint. Where y'all know to that? Y'all know to that. The conscious dance, blah blah blah. Juneteenth, you got that from New York City. And if you trace it to Sonetta, go to Sonetta and say that. Do you know this dude? No, like I said, forget about Sonetta. Go to Professor Small, brother. Yeah.
All right, we got people been waiting to
Peace.
speak. Let's let
Peace.
some other peace to brother Reggie. I see you in the building. Shout out to Black President. He chose to leave, but shout out to him. Go right ahead, brother Reggie. You got the floor.
I'll just spend 3 minutes, just 3 minutes on this. I'm from New York. I'm from Castle Hill Projects. I came to Castle Hill Projects in 1971, right, from Brooklyn, from Virginia. 71. Hip hop movement started in roughly 1973 with Cool Herc spinning, doing parties, spinning records, right? Um, where I'm from, Remy Ma's from, but she's years younger than me, and I had been left Castle Hill Projects uh, before she even began rapping. She was a young girl. She lived in the building of Trade D. Trade D. Trade D is the Carter. Uh, his brother Ray Dean. They were like the origins of hip hop in New York. I mean, in Castle Hill Projects, but we were already late when it already started. We were already late. So there are new figures that people want to talk about when hip hop actually grew. Uh, but look, you're only really known in New York by your block, right? Unless you got a record. And unless you have a record, you have no record, you really not known. We was doing pause tapes. I know y'all know about pause tapes and so my whole point of it is you ain't known in New York throughout all the boroughs unless you got a record that everybody respects. Because New York is kind of like local, right? So there's Bronx, there's Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island, right? And there's even Mount Vernon, right? And some of these people like Puffy and all of those people, they're late. They weren't respected. I mean, they came in when hip hop was going commercial and stuff like that, but they weren't respected. They were children. He's younger than me, right? So when this person comes on and say they all hip hop in New York and stuff, if you ain't got a record that people was playing or a tape out there, You gotta show me a tape. You gotta show me a cassette tape. You gotta show me that, right? Otherwise, I respect you as a person. I just don't respect what you're saying, right? You gotta have a tape, right? Because so let me move off of that. Then he says he studies Kemet. And Smash Rockwell's on his show and Brother Reggie's on his show. And how can I say, for us, it's like almost like hip hop. Before then, it was the Egyptologists, it was the Africans, then it was the Greeks, then it was the Egyptologists, right? And then there was for us Diop, right? And Obenga. And then we are kind of the children of that movement. So I hope I was clear. What I'm basically saying is that New York is block oriented. People don't know you unless you got a record, right? Um, and I'll just leave it like that. If people could study everything that he was talking about was kind of like new compared to when hip hop began. Okay. And you know, I'm nobody, but I'm somebody. And I was there when we got hold of it in my projects, and we were early. So I knew Bam in my life. I knew a lot of people, right? Went to all of the parties when I was young. I'm talking about 12, 13, 14. Bentley's is new, right? Bentley's is new. We played in the projects, Monroe projects, Bronxdale projects, uh, Castle Hill projects, Bronx River projects. We played in the street, in the projects, right? They hooked their sound systems up to light poles. All that other stuff is just brand new. Let's get to Kemet for a second. All right, so Smash, how you doing, good brother? Love your work. You know, I'm a OG, but I'm a fan of your work, right? All righty. So for the last week or 2 weeks, I've been tracking down when was the first time that